just before starting, I want the audience to know. So, like, how would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. My name's Jamie, and I'm the founder at Absolutely AI. We are a creative AI studio. Essentially, we specialize in AI storytelling for commercials, for films, and for everything in between. So, my background is actually in the traditional creative industries as a photographer, filmmaker, and transferring that over to the new world of AI.
Oh, great. So now let's come to the main part. So, like, I was going through your work experience, and I found that you were, I think, 6 years you had experience at ESPN, right?
Yeah, I was there for a while.
Yeah.
So ESPN, world's largest sporting company. So
Yeah.
I was doing a lot with their creative content.
So just
So
to let you know that although I am not a very like gaming fan, but EA Sports, ESPN has been the games I have been playing since 15, 16. So it's a great chance to talk to someone who was behind that.
yeah, so look, doing a lot with ESPN on the sporting side. I'm a big sports fan myself, so
Hmm.
uh, love working with sports, and we do quite a bit with sporting clients as well at Absolutely AI. So it's a big part of what I enjoy personally, and I like to bring it in when I can professionally as well.
Yeah, so like I just wanted to ask, you were part of Seven Network, ESPN, such prestigious firms, and what made you like to start something of your own?
Um, I'm quite a generalist, I suppose, when it comes to content, in terms of I love every aspect of quote unquote content creation, or I'd call it storytelling. So I
Hmm.
actually started as a journalist, as a reporter, and
Yeah.
I like telling those stories. And that evolved into being in front of the camera, to being behind the camera, moved into podcast, to graphic design, to any way that we can kind of reach an audience has really fascinated me, no matter the kind of tools that you use to do this. And it put me in a really good stead when it came to AI because it's just another tool, really. That's what AI
Yeah.
is. So the good thing about AI is if you've got these ideas, now there's a tool that can help to visualize them and bring those stories to life. And so for someone like me who loves just exploring new stories, trying to tell them in different ways, exploring new tools, it was a perfect kind of opportunity for me for sure.
Yeah, like it just breaking the barriers of having
Mm.
a long team, a huge budget.
Mm. Yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, and so was it in the beginning you started it as a part-time or like completely into it from the beginning itself? Absolutely, I.
It was more, yeah, it was pretty much a full-time jump. So
Mhm.
I knew it would work because my background is in the content creation space, and this is such a ultimate tool for content creation, like literally a tool I never thought would be possible in our lifetimes. Like it's absolute magic. I knew as soon as I kind of started playing with it, the early versions of Midjourney, that suddenly you didn't
Mhm.
have to go and take a photo of something. You could generate something just with the prompt. And it wasn't fantastic quality then, but like it occurred to me that you didn't have to be a genius to see where this would go. It was always improving and improving really, really quickly.
Yeah.
And, fast forward 3, 4 years to 2026, where we are today, and we can all kind of see 1000% where things are heading, that this is a professional
Yeah.
creative tool, and a really exciting one in terms of knocking down a lot of those traditional barriers. Uh, One of the big characteristics that I love about using AI is it does knock down a lot of the barriers in terms of accessibility. So you can be where you are, I can be where I am. You can be in regional areas. All you need is a computer, a phone, an internet connection, and you can use AI to create these stories that you just wouldn't be able to before. It's very costly to use a camera to go out and do a professional shoot, um, to learn how to do these things, and then you need the distribution channels. I mean, AI is really just allowing us to tell these stories and to do it at speed and to do it without a lot of those traditional limitations, which is what's really exciting.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, the things required like just a network, camera, a laptop, and these things. But last year I judged like Russia's film festival, and as per my experience, I found that approx 90% of the let's say creators were unable to convey their idea. So, what do you think? What develops the taste? Like, is it something you get through the experience of generating, or like you have to need to have a like a degree in this? Do you have a like degree in this filmmaking or this creative industry?
I do have a degree in communications and media. It has
Mm-hmm.
absolutely nothing to do with with what I do now.
Hmm.
So you don't need a degree, but I think you touched on two interesting points there. While using AI is very simple, it's not very easy. And what I mean by that is you can have all the ideas, but if you can't articulate that in a prompt, or if you cannot create an image based off of what and then the next image, and then turn that into a video, if you can't think about that structure, you're going to fall down. If you also can't think about your language skills, okay, I've got this great idea, but how do I actually articulate uh, my idea into a way that will come and become reality or become an image or a video. So while it is simple to use AI, it's literally as simple as typing in, just as like you type into Google, but it's not easy to create a story. It's not easy to create a great piece of art or, an image, whatever it might be. I suppose where my advantage comes from is I've got experience in creating photos, in taking photos, in creating stories, different kinds of content. And so I know what a good image looks like. I know what a good video looks like. And so when I'm creating, I can see these things because it is still the same output we're looking for. We're still looking for a great image. We're still looking for a great video, a great story. It doesn't matter how we created that necessarily when we're talking about outputs. Um, so I think while it's simple, it's definitely not easy. And I think the biggest thing to encourage people to do is just to work on their own taste. If you like and work on one story, nail that one story, do that one story 1,000 times, and you will learn so much. So, for example, if there's a story from history, a mythological story that you might love, um, try telling that story in 60 seconds using just images. Then try and tell that same story in 20 seconds. So, half the number of images.
Hmm.
How much can you layer in every single image, every single shot, every single frame with meaning that will tell the story in 20 seconds as opposed to 1 minute? And that's how you refine your skills in storytelling because you're really trying to get to the crux of the story. What is the crux of the story? How much can you actually cut out of it? And by doing that exercise and by doing it in different ways, with AI, we can do it in a cinematic, photorealistic way. We can also do it in a very stylized, animated cartoon way if we want. So tell the same story. Don't try a million different stories while you're starting out. Do the same story over and over and over again till you can do that one perfectly. And then you start to play with the different styles where you don't affect the meaning or you might change the meaning slightly. It's a really good exercise that I found in terms of learning.
Yeah, so like I just wanted to mention initially I also like used to face these difficulties, but if you remember, you gave me the access to your like Absolutely I Academy. It helped me develop these skills a lot. Cause if I would have gone by let's say any other way, looking for YT channel and any other let's say newsletter or something, then probably I would have messed up, like taken a lot of time. And but like you have completely given a structured content at one place, so that Video Academy helped me a lot in developing these skills in very less time.
Oh, that's good to hear, mate. That's very good to hear.
Yeah. So I just wanted to now continue with the beginning of Absolutely AI. Like how did the starting look like? Cause at that time in 2020, I think you started in 2020, right?
We started, yeah, a few years ago. So absolutely, AI was always going to be a creative agency which
Mm-hmm.
specializes in AI and AI storytelling. And um, the hardest part was first getting people to understand what AI was. There was a massive amount of time, what it felt like a massive amount of time, where people just didn't get it. Like I went through entire meetings with, people who are high up in agencies and they've done
Mm-hmm.
traditional production and things for years and years. And I'd sit them down and I'd show them what we'd done. And then after half an hour, they'd be like, "So did you go and photograph this?" Like they just couldn't comprehend, who are these people that you're showing? What is this? They like, and people are getting it more and more now because we're seeing it more now. But just the concept of understanding what AI content actually is was so foreign and is so foreign to what any of us kind of thought. Definitely what I thought. I'm exactly the same as everyone else. Um, that it takes a bit of getting used to. But once you get used to it, your mind kind of just expands because suddenly you're not bound by these traditional things. If I want my next film to be based in Spain or on the moon or on Mars, it can be. I don't have to
Yeah.
think about where am I going to shoot this, what kind of studio, what location, so you can change a lot of these things with AI that you just couldn't do before. And that's the kind of exciting thing and what we really lent into. But it did take a number of years for people just to catch up, I think, and realize that this is firstly of a quality that is professional standard, um, and also what are the benefits and what are the risks, and what are the limitations as well. So it's been a big kind of learning curve.
So I think your first break with AI was that photography contest, right?
Mm.
So what was like your approach? What did you see in AI which anyone else couldn't? Like anyone else could also have generated an AI image, but
Yeah. Yeah,
so
so what you're referring to there was an experiment I did back in 2022, and it was to create a AI image of a drone shot. It's an aerial shot over a beach, and I
hmm
entered that into a photography competition contest, and it won. It became the world's first AI image to win a traditional photography competition, and I got plenty of attention and backlash because of that. Um, I really wanted to show people that this was something that we all have to think about: right, wrong, good, bad. This is here, and this is changing content forever. This is changing storytelling forever. So I did that experiment and came clean and told people that it was AI. But I just thought the best way to prove that was by fooling some actual photography judges and proving that AI was at a standard now where it was quality enough and realistic enough to pass off as the real thing. So yeah, that was that one.
yeah. So now let's come to the global AI agency which 2026 you won. So how does a day in Absolutely A look like? Because I think you have various verticals you are working in. So how does a day look like?
Um, so each day is different, which is what I actually love about what we do because we're working on such a wide range of different projects. So
Mhm.
a typical day will be, booking in some client projects and then working on client projects. That's everything from a 30-second commercial that will go on TV to some social images to some billboard images, and just various campaigns. So every day is the same but very different, because we're working on so many different kinds of projects, and it's really exciting. That's the variation has been the coolest thing, and kind of educating people on what AI can actually do. And um, these industries are so mature, the traditional ones, and there's suddenly this new shiny thing, and I'm enjoying that we're the new shiny thing and people are coming to us for that.
So the clients you mentioned, you had like clients like Sony, NFL. So like, do they approach you or you pitch to them?
So Sony was an interesting one. We did some workshops for their top ambassadors, for their top creators at Sony Kando. The NFL, we've done multiple things with them. For the Super Bowl, we've created some content for them. one more recently for a partnership that they've got just last week, actually. So we do a mixture. We reach out, they reach out to us.
Hmm.
I've got client contacts as well that I've kind of lent on in some ways when I've needed to. But yeah, it's a bit of a mixture. I mean, we're lucky that we're maturing and we've kind of been around a little while, so people know us and reach out to us directly.
So anything currently you're working on which you will like to share?
I mean, nothing yet. I mean, the big thing is filmmaking and the video side of it. That's my bag. That's what I love. And I was waiting so long for AI video to catch up. Um, that's really the most exciting part because we're seeing such advancements all the time in terms of how quality, how consistent, how good these clips can be. And we're hosting the Australian AI Film Awards later this year, and one thing I was chatting to my partner about this yesterday. We don't know how long these are going to be. Usually, it's been very difficult to create an AI short film trailer that is between a couple of minutes and 5, 6, 7, 10 minutes. But now the tools are getting so much better that you can push it out to 10, 20, 30 minutes. So it really won't be long until we're at the hour mark and then the feature length mark. So who knows by August when we have our events, who knows how long the entries are going to be.
Mm. So you're solo founder, right? Or you have a co-founder?
Yeah.
Solo founder, right? So like a commendable job, like and winning like Global AI Agency 2026. So what do you think? Currently, I think there are thousands of these kind of freelancers and agencies which uh, do the work you are doing. So what makes your agency different from them?
We've been around a bit longer, and we've gone after bigger clients. That's kind of what we've been doing from the start, proving that it can work for actual client briefs. We don't do spec ads or um, all of these things. I mean, a speculative ad, you see them all the time, and they look great. Essentially, someone just thinks, "Oh, what would a Nike campaign look like with AI?" And you go away and create it, and they look really good. But the issue with those is they're not real client briefs. Clients can be nightmares. Clients always have different changes, they want different things. It is very different to create something that's just for you and your enjoyment, just a spec ad, and a real client brief. So we've gone after the real briefs and built on that just to show that it is possible and to get the runs on the board that way. That's been our kind of biggest differentiator. Yeah, yeah.
So till now in the journey of Absolutely AI, you thought that something you did a mistake, which if you get a chance to improve now, will improve the let's say the reputation or what Absolutely AI is right now.
To change a mistake we might have made.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think we've made too many mistakes, thankfully. Yeah, I mean, you can see everything as a mistake or everything as kind of a blessing. There's been a lot of learnings, a lot of issues, but I think that builds you up to a stronger place down the track, and you have to go through those issues. So there's a lot of things I wish didn't happen, but I think that I am lucky that they did happen because it's made our processes a lot stronger. It's made me a lot more realistic in terms of how this can work. And founding Absolutely AI has been a real tough slog, and um, trying to understand what that looks like and how you can balance everything and bringing in too much work, what happens when the work dries up, how to reach out, how to balance that. There's so many kind of juggling acts going on, and I wear a lot of different hats. So I wouldn't say there's been any massive mistakes where I go back and change that. Um, but yeah, it's not been an easy journey by any stretch.
Yeah, cause I think you are one of the first movers in this industry, so you were walking on the like unmoved path, so no
Mm,
one to follow on, and
mm,
uh, so it was absolutely a I can understand a difficult path.
mm.
Yeah, so now if I would want you to like make some kind of predictions, Like what you think is the current happening, which will in the AI, of course, which will impact the future the most.
In creative AI or just the AI in general?
In general AI.
Um, oh, AI is just it is just getting so good across the board. And that's what worries people. And that's what excites people. And every day I switch between excited and worried. So I think that later this year we will see a lot of these kind of impacts being felt in terms of AI for good and for bad, because it is just getting to that point where it is just undeniably incredible. Um, So, what impact that has on the job market, what impact that has on professionals doing the jobs now and the jobs that they'll do in future, we are going to start seeing big changes. Yeah,
So like, what's your take? Will let's say in creative AI industry, will this AI be able to replace the human force?
it's interesting. It won't, but it's changing it in the way
Hmm.
that I'm saying I am one person. How many people does it take to create a Hollywood film? I could ask ChatGPT, I'm not sure. But let's say 1,000 people. That's probably conservative. Let's say 1,000 people. If I can create something that may not be quite up to that standard, but it has a good story. It has a good score. It has all of the makings of a movie. What does that mean? Well, that means it's an incredible opportunity for me personally, because one person, I'm not having to wait for anyone for approval to create this story. There's distribution channels now to get that out there
Hmm.
as well, to start monetizing it, to get my name out there. That's incredible. But what does that mean for the 999 other people who were doing this a traditional way? Um, there's also some interesting things going on in terms of AI filmmaking where it's a blend. So Luma, they did a
Hmm.
fantastic production that they're working on, and it's almost like it's a 360 or 180 screen, a huge screen, like a green screen almost, but it's not a green screen that goes behind the actors. And the actors are actually performing almost like a theater, like they're on stage
Hmm.
performing. And then behind them is these AI generated clips, these AI generated environments and worlds. And so that hybrid approach is really cool, where it's still actors acting out, it's still being filmed, but we're able to change the environments in ways. So I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of that as well as we go forward.
Yeah. So you mean the blend will be coming of both AI and humans
Yeah,
working together? Hmm.
yeah, I do.
Yeah. So now let's talk about the film festival which you are hosting. So what are your expectations from that? And like you said in August, right?
We're in what, sorry?
August.
In
Uh,
August, yes, that's right.
yes, yes,
So
yes.
that'll be in Brisbane in August, the Australian AI Film Awards. I'm hoping, essentially, I want Australia to be a leader in AI storytelling, and this is our way of helping to push that goal forward. So we're hoping for a lot of entries to come through to show people that there's a pathway, to start building a pathway for them. Um, it's such a fragmented kind of community. I don't even know if you'd call it a community if it's just one person sitting in one city creating their own stories. How do you connect those to other people? How do you get them thinking about, building up a real community and a standard and a benchmark and all these things? So we want to bring everyone together in the same room and celebrate what fantastic AI films Australians are making and then push them on into their own journey as well. We're looking to give them, the winners, credits to continue to make fantastic films, mentoring to help them with their storytelling craft as well. So that's what we're really looking forward to.
So all the best for this. And like if someone who is currently trying to build something in AI, so what advice you would like to give?
Uh, just follow your curiosity. That's what has been my kind of guiding North Star has been if you're curious about AI music or just music in general, create something. If you want to make some films, create like just think about what interests you because everyone has so many things that interest us, but we never tap into that side for whatever reason. It's too hard, it's too I don't have the time. I mean, the excuses don't last or don't wash as much anymore with AI because the accessibility piece is there and also because it's far quicker. Um, so I'd say just follow your curiosity. Don't yeah, don't follow what other people are doing. Follow your own curiosity. Like I say, think about one story, start making that story. You will learn so much by doing as opposed to looking at others. Just do your own thing, even if it's just for yourself, and you'll learn so much more that way.
Yep.